Hi to everyone watching this video. Welcome to the Humble Sound Tech channel. This is a channel for anybody volunteering in the church sound team. The channel is to share my experience in all my years of volunteering and also get to hear of the experiences of other people in this same space. So my church, the First Cause Gospel Church in Ghana, is 50 years old, and as part of the celebrations, we are having a convocation of all gospel churches in Ghana at the headquarters. I am privileged to be leading the sound team on this one. And this video is just to take you through what we intend to achieve on that day. Alright, so we are going to have stage monitoring and then front of house. The stage control will be via the M32R and the front of house will be via the Berenga wind. We are running about 40 channels. Right, so to achieve that, we are combining the S32 with an S16, connecting it from the AS50B port of the S32 to the AS50A port of the S16. That way, you have your first 32 channel running, your first 32 input channels running on the S32, and then your next 16 channels combining to be 48 channels running on your S16. The same applies to the output channels. Your first 16 output channels will be running on the S32, while 17 to 24 output channels will be running on the S16. So then you have one unit providing you with 48 input channels and 24 output channels. So we are connecting this unit to the Midas M32R through the AS50A ports of both devices. Right, so from the AS50A port of the S32 to the AS50A port of the M32R. Right, then we add the ring to the network through the AS50A port of the ring through to the AS50B port of the M32R. So we have, so now you know that M32R is actually a 32 channel mixer. So, but it has the capability of receiving 48 channels, but it can use only 32 channels at a time. And then, so through we are, but the wing can take 48 channels. So the wing takes all the channels we are providing here, and then through the M32, right? Then we'll decide which channels show up on the M32 depending on what you want to do on stage. The next thing I want to point out is how we are broadcasting the broadcast sound, how we are going to broadcast it. The broadcast audio will be mixed on a PC using Studio One, PC on Studio One. So we have access to Wave plugins and any other plugins that are available to us to make the sound rich, to make the sound comfortable and pleasant to the ear. So we are sending 48 channels out through the card, and then we are receiving from the door a stereo channel, then to the mixer. Then from the mixer, we push it to the sound team for them to impose it on the video. So basically, this is a setup we are going to work with. It's not anything complicated. It's quite a simple setup. I'll start with what we have going on in the wing. So this is the wing edit. This is the wing edit. You can see I have everything set up in terms of labeling, in terms of routing, in terms of buses, everything. I have everything set up. Now this is what I normally do most of the time when there is a program at church, either an internal program or an external program. I do this, I set up a template that can be my springboard into the work that is to be done. I do this because I find that labeling, routing, setting up your tap points and everything that comes with the job can actually be time consuming. And to save yourself a lot of time, it's better for you to have a template that you have set up before the program. So you don't have to waste your time labeling, you don't have to waste your time choosing icons if you are one that likes icons. You don't have to waste your time setting up your buses and what kind of buses they are going to be, whether they're going to be post fader or subgroups. Then you don't have to also waste time routing, determining where the buses are going to go, which ones are going to be your mains, how you're going to set up your matrices. You don't waste time on the program day because they can be very, very, very time consuming. So normally when there's a program, this is what I do. I get the concept of what might be implemented on the day, and then I do a template that I will just load onto the mixer and then start working. That way it saves me a lot of trouble. Sometimes we go for programs and not a lot of things are that needs to be set up before the sound team sets up. It's not set up, so you have to wait for it. And at the end of the day, if you don't have a template you are running on, you get to find out that you fall way, way behind time. And then now you may have to start a program even without sound check. And that sometimes or most of the times is a recipe for disaster. So I do this most of the time, or not most of the time, I do this all the time when there's a program, even for church services sometimes. Um, I decide or I looking at what has to be achieved during the church service. Sometimes I import what we already have on the mixer, and then if there has to be any tweaks done to it, I do it at home and then I go to church to implement it. Definitely, some of the things that you implement at home, they will change, right? But because you're not starting from scratch, you have a lot of a headroom to make mistakes and to make changes, and that's nothing catches you by surprise. So basically, this is the setup that we have. You can see I have my input channels, kick, snare, hi hats, overheads, tom one, tom two, tom three. Then I have the loops. I have piano, my keys here, the bass guitar, lead guitar, about nine, I think nine BVs, two lead mics, one MC mic, one preacher mic, one interpreter mic, then crowd mics. So from all these are coming in from the stage boxes, right? So there are certain microphones that will not reflect here. For example, the crowd mic is not going to reflect here because I don't need the crowd mics on stage. I just need the crowd mics for our broadcast. So it's not going to be reflected here, but I can send it through the M32R into the Midas and into the Berenga wind. Yeah. So basically, this is an overview of the setup that we intend to implement. So over the course of the series, I will go through routing, we'll go through what you have going on here on the Midas, then we'll go through what you have going on the M32R, and then we also see what we are doing with the broadcast audio. The audio will be broadcasted. How we are intending to implement that. Remember to comment, like, and share, and I'll see you in the next video.